I remember I told you one of the things that could have stopped my younger brother from donating to me was the might that if he donated, he was not going to be able to impregnate a woman. But today he's happily married and he has 3 children to the glory of God. Okay, my name's Innocent Kenechukwu N13m. I was saying before 2012, I knew I was hypertensive. I had been on medications, but by 2011 beginning, I became chronically sick. In that the sickness comes up. I take medications, it stops for a day, 2 days, it comes back again. The blood pressure refused to come down. So I had to go for cholesterol tests. It was discovered it was high. And then I noticed changes on my body. There was this swelling of my feet. And sometimes I feel like vomiting. So that was what led to me going to the hospital. So first, I went to a private hospital. After seeing my test results, the doctor referred me to Luth. Then at Luth, they also did their own, investigations. That was when it was confirmed that the 2 kidneys were damaged. So by the time it was discovered I had kidney disease, it was already at stage 5. So for me, there was no case of maybe it was still stage 1 or stage 2. So by the time it was discovered, it was stage 5 already. When the test results, were out, the consultant I was to see that he was reluctant telling me that I had to press on him. I told him, look, I'm a Christian, I'm not afraid of death. Tell me what is the final solution. So he told me, well, that it's not a death sentence, but that the only permanent solution was, kidney transplant. If not, that I was to be on regular dialysis for the rest of my life. So it wasn't as if I didn't feel so happy about it. I didn't feel so bad about it because I made up my mind for the worst. Back then, each session used to cost average of 50,000. The reason is that at Luth, then you buy the materials needed and then you pay the service fee. Then in addition, you have to buy erythropoietin injection. That is an injection you need to boost hemoglobin, because as the kidneys were not working, so the person becomes anemic, meaning that the blood level was always low. So after every session of dialysis, the patient would need to take that erythropoietin injection. You understand? So all those costs put together bring it to average of 50,000 naira per session of dialysis. Well, as a matter of fact, I started the dialysis, and after being informed by the doctor of the long-term solution, so I had to start calling family members. So one of my younger ones, because I happened to be the first of 9 children. So one of my younger ones, he readily came when he heard, my situation. But then as the money was not available, he had to go back because he was based in the East. So that time he went back. Other members of the family and the society at large who were close to him, approached him and told him, "Oh boy, do you know what you want to do? Your big bros has married and got his own family, that whoever donates kidney to someone will not be able to impregnate a woman. So with that, he became, apprehensive. So, but then he didn't know how to walk up to me and tell me that. So what then was happening was that he started avoiding me. So he would tell me he will come next week he won't come, and he cannot be reached on phone. I will try, I cannot reach him. When I get through somebody, another phone number he was using then, when I call that and immediately he hears my voice, he would switch off that one. So it continued like that for over 2 months. But the guy started avoiding me, and he didn't know how to come and tell me, big bros, I no go do this thing for you again. Oh. But somehow I got to know what was happening. So God helping me, I arranged for a family meeting and prayers at the same time, because let me just bring that in. There is another side to kidney disease. So we had to go for family prayers. I arranged with a friend who is a pharmacist, who is well knowledgeable in, medical things, and also some members of my prayer team in the church who went to the village for the purpose of, having a prayer meeting and then a family meeting to discuss the way forward. So it was after the meeting. In fact, he didn't attend the meeting. So some other person volunteered to donate if he was not ready to do that. But after the meeting and the whole explanations, we had family prayers. The next day, being Monday, my friends and I came back to Lagos. Then 2 days after, my phone rang and he said, big bros, Mamio, I'm coming to your house so that we continue where we stopped. He came and volunteered to donate to me. So that was it. But then the money was not there, because initially when he came, he was thinking that it's something we'll just go to loot and do. To God be the glory, we did the tests and 2 of us were compatible. So, but the money was not there. So he had to go back to his base, and I continued on dialysis. So in all, I spent about 12-13 months on dialysis before we were able to finally get enough support from, friends, the church, and, the well-spirited members of the society to go for the kidney transplant. A successful transplant. Once the kidneys are working, your system becomes normal again. The only thing is that it's a major surgery. So you have to stay away from, strenuous activities so that you will not, have, physical injury to the surgery. And then another precaution needed is on the area of, hygiene. Because after the surgery, the patient has to be on immune suppressant for the rest of his or her life. What that means is that the patient's immune system is compromised, meaning that any small exposure can give the patient, infections that can cause him sickness, and that can even lead to his body rejecting the borrowed kidney. Two is that that immune suppressant must never be compromised. It has to be taken religiously. Reason is that it is like a kind of bribe to the immune system to accommodate the borrowed kidney. So the day the patient starts, skipping the immune suppressant, what it means is that his body or her body may develop some resistance, which may lead to the immune system becoming stronger and start attacking the borrowed kidney. So these are the major precautions, that I take my medicines, religiously, that I be very, very, hygienic conscious. Very important. And then two, that I make sure I don't engage in strenuous activities. So these three basic, once you are doing them, you live your normal life. This is my 12th year, and you talking with me now will tell better if I am different from every other human being you relate with. But initially, before my surgery and even after my surgery, I've had people saying that. Some people will tell you that if you do transplant, you won't last more than 10 years. But this is my 12th year, and I know some of my friends whose own are 20 years plus and are doing well. And then as for the donor, I remember I told you one of the things that could have stopped my younger brother from donating to me was the might that if he donated, he was not going to be able to impregnate a woman. But today he's happily married and he has 3 children to the glory of God. And he's doing well himself, health-wise. So that's a might. It has no scientific basis. Friends, one thing that is needed now is taking the campaign to the grassroots so that people will be aware, because there are so many things we do and take it for granted that cause kidney damage. Like in my own case, there could be some spiritual manipulation somewhere, but the fact remains that if I had known what I know today back then, I would have been able to effectively manage the hypertension I was having then better than I was managing it. And who knows, if I had done that, my kidneys wouldn't have damaged. So that is one, that everyone, people like us, NGOs, the government should take it serious. The campaign to give people the right information about kidney disease, the possible causes and the symptoms, so that when people get the symptoms, they will know exactly what to do, because prevention is far cheaper than cure.